Hello everybody, now we are going to see about one of the important interfacing IC, that is a programmable interrupt controller. It is also called as a priority interrupt controller 8259. So here we are going to see first about a microprocessor functions. We know that microprocessor is doing a different function along with that of IO devices and memory devices, where in IO devices it reads a character from the keyboard and it also counts the interrupt from the timer, and in the analog and digital converter it communicates, and for the display and the printer devices, and also used to detect the power failure in a system. So here it has only a two interfacing interrupt controlling signals, that is an NMI signal and INTR signal, where NMI is mainly used for power failure and INTR only has to tackle all the remaining interrupts. So it is a very difficult task for the microprocessor when all the interrupts occurs at the same time. So it is not controlled by INTR. So for that it needs one important interfacing IC where it improves the interrupt handling capacity of a microprocessor. So that is what 8259 pick, that is a programmable interrupt controller, where it has an 8 interrupt handling capacity in a single IC. That is here it has only a 4 interrupt requests from different interrupts, which is analyzed and which has the highest priority is forwarded to a microprocessor. After that it sends the acknowledgement signal to the interfacing IC. So like this it is transferring an interrupt to the microprocessor. So here we are having, this is what a microprocessor unit, where it communicates with the data buses directly, and only a difference is that after analyzing all 8 interrupts, a priority which interrupt has the highest priority is forwarded to the microprocessor through INTR signal, and it gets the acknowledgement through INTA signal from the microprocessor. So here comes what is the features of 8259. It increases the interrupt handling ability of a microprocessor. It never services the interrupt, it just forwards the interrupt for the processor with the execution of ISR. And here it will not follows the clock, and it has the 8 levels of interrupts, and it can be used in a master and also in the slave mode. It can handle 64 interrupts, and it has a priority resolver, and priority may be a fixed or a rotating priority, and interrupts may be maskable. And here we are having modes, and the masks can be changed dynamically, it is not a fixed one. And based on the incoming priority it analyzes the current level priority, and it acts according to that. And next it can be communicated with a processor 825, 8285 and 8286. In 8285 it is dealing with the call instruction, and in 8286 it is dealing with the vector numbers, and it can be worked in a polled and also in the vectored mode, where it forwards the starting address of ISR or a vector number which is programmable. Here comes, we are going to see about the architecture of 8259, where here it is what has the internal bus. So in the left side it is going to communicate with the processor, and in the right side it is going to communicate with the IO devices, which is requesting microprocessor for interrupting. So here comes the data bus buffer, and it is a read write control logic, and buffers comparators one by one we are going to see. And here we are having a data buses, it is of 8-bit size, where it occupies a 8 pin numbers, and similarly read signal, write signal, A0 signal and a CS signal occupies a 4 pin numbers. And cascading option, it has a 3 signals, and also the slave program has one important pin, and here we are having an interrupt request and an interrupt acknowledgement signal, and other than that we are having an 8 interrupt request pins. So totally it is a 28 pin IC. And here comes a data bus buffer, where here this yellow color indicates a communication between IO devices, that is an interrupt request sent from which device, that is communicated through interfacing ICs to the microprocessor through this data bus buffer. So it is a tri-state bidirectional 8-bit data bus buffer. It is directly connected to the internal bus of the processor, and here it is used to send the command and the status and the vector addresses through it to the interfacing IC. And here comes the read write logic, where here we are having a read signal and write signal which is generated by the processor. According to this interfacing IC will act. So it controls the read write operation of the system, and it holds the two important registers, that is initialization command word register and operational command word registers, which it is associated with the signals of read write and A0 and chip selections. So these pins are used by the processor for read write operations. And here this interfacing IC is activated only on based on the signals in the chip selection, so it should be an active low signal. And here we are having important logic, that is an control logic, where it is used to send an interrupt from the IO devices to the processor through INT signal. When the processor receives the signal, it sends the acknowledgement through INTA signal through this for this interfacing IC. So here this is responsible for sending the desired ISR through the data buses. And next here comes the interrupt request register. So here we are having a possibility of totally 8 interrupt requests. So these will be set and resetted according to the requests available. This unit stores the interrupt request generated by 8 number of IO devices connected to the interfacing. And here we are having interrupt mask register. So this 8 devices can set the interrupt, but it can also be masked by means of an interrupt mask registers. So this is this we can read the status of the interrupt mask register at the time of operation by reading the this operational command word register. So this will be sent to the microprocessor. So next we are going to see about the priority resolver, which is mainly used to set the priority for the interrupts which is occurred in IRR. So here it decides the highest priority needs to be executed first among all the priorities. So at that time of servicing an interrupt, when there is an interrupt occurs based on the priority, it will serve. So if the incoming priority is having a highest compared to that of servicing priority, it will accept and start to service the incoming priority. If it is a very lesser one, it will be ignored. And here comes an in service register. So it is used to store the interrupts which is currently being executed by the processor. And here sets priority resolver sets each bit in the interrupt service routine after getting an interrupt command word by the processor. The bits get reset. So this is holds the ability to directly read the status of the in service register. And next comes the last block, that is what an cascade buffer comparator. This is what an interesting thing. We can make the interfacing as a master and also the slave, that is it has the capability of handling 64 interrupts. So at that time and we are having 8 interrupts can be cascaded at that time. So each and every interrupts has a totally, so based on that it is expanded up to 64 interrupt requests. So here it has a different, each and every devices having a different IDs. So here one time this can be, one device can be, one interfacing device can be acts as a master and another one, another remaining thing acts as a slave. So in the device which has a master, these signals CAS not to CAS2 acts as the output signal, whereas in the slave this signals acts as the input signals. And also here at that time in the master mode it acts as the buffer, whereas in the slave mode it acts as the comparator. So here we are having some other thing. It can have the capability of handling the 8 interrupts directly, or by means of a usage of slaves it can handle the 64 interrupts. So for the slave devices this thing acts as the input pins, whereas in the master device it acts as the output. So whether the device acts as a slave or the master is decided by means of this signal. So that is what slave program input enable signal. So this is to be active low, which indicates that interfacing IC 8259 acts as the slave. If this signal value equal to 1, it acts as the master. So this is what an interrupt sequence. One or more interrupt request line goes high, automatically corresponding IR bit is set, which makes 8259 to generate the INT signal to communicate to CPU, where CPU sends the INTA signal, which the highest priority ISR is set, and according to that its corresponding IRR is reset. So once INTA signal is received, it receives the call instruction from the microprocessor through a data bus, which initiates 2 more INTA bars, which releases the address of the call instruction. After that ISR bit is reset, depends on the mode of operation. Thank you.